That's right. Her husband may not be able to fight, but she can. Even pregnant, she gonna whoop your. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to When Life Gives You Tangerines. We are now on episode 4, which is called The Blazing Summer Sunshine. So we're finally into a different season. We've been talking about spring this whole time. We're moving into the next season, which is summer. The last episode, we basically had our main couple finally come together. They had their ups and downs, their adventures, but in the end, even though Asun really tried to do what she thought was best for Guanxik by letting him go, in the end, her heart wouldn't let her let go, and she ended up begging him to come back, and that man literally crossed sea and land to get back to her, and he basically let his family know that they were getting married. That's all there is to it. So they got married, and we discover in a little bit of a flash forward that it's a good thing they did, because it turns out that our girl Asun was actually pregnant. So it would have been very, very messy for her if if they hadn't gotten married, and probably would have ended up being a real trouble with her new husband. So anyway, now we know that that's what happened, that even though both of them kind of had to, I guess, shelve a lot of the dreams they might have had for their lives, although Guanxik's one and only dream apparently was to be the husband to Asun. Asun basically decided that her life of being a scholar was going to have to be put on hold, and instead she would be a wife and a mother, but at least she had a family of her own. So yeah, that it seemed like it ended quite well, but since we were only in episode 3, I know something is about to happen. So I'm ready to jump into the episode and just see where this next step in our adventure takes us. So let's do that. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. What? That's a weather day? 108. More grandchildren. That's the way it used to be. That's why they used to have big families. Thank you. Thank you. Let's bring that back around, ma'am. How many kids have you had? Only one child. Like, having a child is easy stuff. For some women, that's literally death. Why are you abusing the child?
애비 자다가도 끙끙 앓아요. 먹이다 대고 뭘 소가리까지 하게 해요.
Like, y'all already give him so much of a headache.
차와집 미워도 마누라 예쁘면 그냥 산다잖아요.
And that's the truth.
저도 비슷해요.
Period. Not you, little ma'am. Excuse me. Exactly. Serves you right. Oh! She says she likes her better than you.
예순이나 누구지? 사람한테 파충에 뿌려왜?
Because she clearly is rich enough to throw away food. Yeah, so what if it is? You see your mom everywhere here? It's also kind of sad the only memory she has of her mom is her working. Poor woman never had a moment's peace from the second she had a baby. Probably before that, actually, because they said her first husband, that Asun's dad, was a gambler, so. It's hilarious because I can see that a lot of these actresses are wearing darker foundation because they're trying to look like Jeju folks. Oh, she in fact did have another baby. Keep it up, Hag. Every weapon formed against Asun thus far has not prospered, so keep it up. You're really trying to put this girl to work? Exactly. There's no way Asun would be okay with this. I'm with her. I don't want to hear nothing from any of you miserable hags. Thank you. No. Nosy. Ma'am, you came to our house. His family is so truly awful. You would really put this girl to hard labor because you hate her that much? Because she wasn't born to the mom you wanted?
한바당서 10년을 키웠으면 구쟁기나 고둥이나 내 새끼지.
Really? You say that, but you kicked her out. Okay.
그거 하나 뚝딱 못해요.
Right? Do you know how to do it? How long has that baby been here, ma'am? Jeez.
차별하고 근 10년 만에 붙어 살았구만. 일일 갈 사이도 아니지 뭐.
You started it. You kicked me out of the house.
난 너 존경해.
You should. She's admirable.
이 집 구석서 살아보니까 너 존경해.
You realize how much work she did.
그냥 더 살아봐.
I like that. It's not in your lot to be a maid, but you have a good heart, and that's why you are one. It's so true. She's smart enough and pretty enough that if she really wanted to make her way elsewhere, she could. It wouldn't be easy, but she could.
말로 해. 아, 잘 부탁한다고요.
Right? Like, please?
애들. 내 새끼 걱정 좀 그만해라. 그만해.
Okay, at least she's calling them my children.
깨끼를 니게만 사오던 누구라고
She's still
불러서
mad about that? Come on.
깨끼 대신 자전거 드리잖아.
She's like, I'm bribing you with bigger gifts.
아, 쎄 빠지게 치작거리라고. 그거 하나 뜯어가게? 아, 뜯어가긴 뭘 뜯어가요.
Did she just say you're giving it to me now? Right? They have an interesting relationship, but I'm glad she now understands how much work she did and that she did it because she wanted to.
야, 너는 네 차만 딱 해줬냐?
Yeah.
딱 해주고?
You're not exactly making it easy to care about you.
예, 예순이 지난 거냐?
거기 써서
She
다
kind of looks that way.
이것도 부상하시게?
Maybe you want another grandkid?
진짜 새 거예요.
Oh, he's like, yeah, I got some good memories in this dress. I'm keeping it. It's got to be rough though, knowing that they pretty much are determined to dislike her. Interesting, Sam. Oh, he wants her to go. And what bothers me the most is that they just keep treating this boy like he's an idiot, right? Like he chose every step of the way with A-Sun. He chose. It's not like she dragged him or forced him. And the mother even saw that she tried to push him away. Like, get off her back. Damn beans.
나는 계속 찍소리도 바로?
아드님이 나서면 나는 그냥 미운 년에서 아주 죽일 년이 되는 거야.
I guess in this case, it's going to make it worse. But he's in kind of an impossible position too. I don't know. I feel like...
풀어놔. 뭐라도 하게 냅둬야 호래 자식이라도 되지.
I think she just wants you to keep being a sweet guy.
상 차리는 사람 되지 말고 상을 막 다 엎고 살았으면 좋겠어.
Period. That's right. Screw their table.
너도 엎어. 네가 엎기만 하면 뒤는 내가 다 처리할게.
He hates seeing you miserable.
땅이라고.
So is that basically how he prepares for another child? She's like, enough sweet talking. Get over here. That's a really hard place to be. Like, they need his parents' help because they don't have the money to be on their own. But at this price, how do you have this many beans, ma'am? Y'all literally just coming out of a war and famine and you throwing away food? Oh, wow, man.
말 많고 게으른 건 비박의 방박이고.
She hates you so bad. Woo!
2,000원.
벌건 삼벌건
Thank you. Take all my peas. That's right. That's his daughter. Y'all seem to forget. Wrong with this family. That's his baby girl. What do you want him to do? Just because y'all too heartless that you're not going to give your own child something?
한 벌건
I love her his daughter's like, anyways, this is another Tuesday. Give me some more peas, man. He does not feel comfortable leaving her in that house, and I don't blame him. That smile is for his sake.
지네야 지네.
You can never have too many shoes. I'm of the shoe ministry.
네 엄마랑 살아. 화초 좋아하는 니네 엄마랑 살라고. 큰딸 공부시키느라 무진해 쓰셨겠다. 없는 살림에.
Or work uniform.
막 대리도 금방 달 거라고. 계속 다니게? 네? 결혼하고도 계속 다니려고?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, this was the 90s.
보면 그런 허기가 허용이 되더라고.
Huh?
원래 졸부가 더 유세라고. 없는 집에서 또 기분 나쁘니?
Yeah, you're being rude and you know it. If you have to ask.
우리 영범이 처가 왜? 왜 영범이 뒷바라지 안 하고
Maybe
밖으로
because she
나돌아요?
wants to work.
저도 영범이만큼 능력이
Let her know. He's lucky to have me.
아니잖아요.
Yeah. Tell me what's wrong with actually wanting something for myself.
그럼 어머님도 화초는 아니신 거죠?
Oh, she said we the same. No. That modern haircut you got going on.
나는 없는 집 맞다리 꼬이기도 꼬인 걸.
You're
그냥
very
다
pretty.
때려쳐. 어?
That
내가
woman's
너
a cow.
시집 먹고 환장 들린 것도 아니고.
Damn. It's like that, I guess. Don't be sad, sis. This is one of the sad side effects sometimes of marrying into a rich family. You got to give up all your agency and autonomy. And look how miserable that boy's mama is. That you want that to be you? Don't break the window because you're frustrated, sweetie.
없이 커서 그런가 그냥 계속 뭘 사고 싶어.
Wow, lashing out at mom because you're mad at your a-hole of a wannabe mama? Not cool.
셈은 많은데 돈은 없고 죽어라 갖고 싶은데 죽어도 못 가지면서 크니까.
I can see your life was so hard.
난 가난이 유세야? 궁상이 공치사야?
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to right now? Who is this anger for?
너 뭐 힘들어?
Right?
자식은 서운했던 것만 사무친다.
Oh, because she wants peas. The baby wants peas. She will not work. She will not work. She's a child. She hasn't even gone to school. Period. Good for her. Flip the table. Good for you. Yes, my daughter.
종살이 발자 3대를 물릴까?
Period. Let the baby go. What is wrong with you? Thank you. Slap her back. Slap her back. And she's right. You want to hand me so bad, send your daughter out. How come my daughter got to go? I would hope so. I hope so. Daddy's home. Daddy is home. And one thing he's not going to do is let you beat her up on his wife. Take your damn food, and I'm taking my wife. Good. That's the Lord telling you need to take a minute. If you have a heart attack, that's divine intervention right there.
나랑 살러 왔지. 이 집 며느리 살러 온 애 아니야.
To be his wife. Period. King it. King it. The rudeness. And he couldn't take it either. He was waiting for her to get fed up.
부자한테나 좀 시집가지.
Wouldn't have been worth it.
나는 가.
Yeah, that's her prince. Not to mention the fact you wouldn't be here.
내가 2봉지씩 사지 말라고
She
말했어.
still
안
buys
했어?
you peas. Come on. Would you go back and marry someone else? That man is obsessed with your mom. You know how few of us grew up having parents that in love with each other? It's a blessing.
어.
He's such a good daddy and husband. I don't know how he turned out so well with such hags as females in his life. And a useless dad.
은혜 석달 집은 땅 낸 거 몰람시냐?
Did you know that? What?
누가요?
방세 석 달치를
Yeah, who did that?
방세만 잘 내면 난 돋고기도 준다.
Oh! Presents! Thanks! Don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Take it. Mo Oran scholarship. Did he fill out the college application for her?
희정이 누구야?
아니 내가 너랑 10살 때부터 붙어 있었는데.
Right? He's like, you think I'm gonna cheat now?
양관식이 좋다는 애는 없었지.
반정을 하냐?
Right? Your man's kind of fine.
김춘호.
Yeah, I don't think she has the money to give anyway.
결정적으로 우리 할머니는 돈이 없고.
Oh, he's holding on to her. Did you see the baby holding on to his finger?
아니 우리 엄마가 어디 부잣집 옆에 있는 데싹 들어간 다음에
그거
그 집
맞아요.
통장 같은 걸 이렇게 싹 버린 다음에.
He's like, good night. That's enough foolishness from you. Was he bringing more food?
이별한 거 보라. 몸 편하고 속 편해 애들을 써줘.
It's true. Stress actually affects fertility. You weren't gonna be able to hide that, so.
모험 영화를 보겠다고 손이 부러지도록 그물을 땡겨.
How can you scold a puppy? I can't do it. He deserves it, but just feel guilty. And respectfully, sir, maybe you shouldn't be making more babies. You know she's only angry because she cares.
자꾸 긴 걸 입고 자.
Is he okay? Maybe he had more injuries than what we saw. It seems like he's possibly fighting a fever here. All this sleeping. Yep. He had more. But if you freaked out about his hand, I kinda get why he hid the rest from you. Because he still didn't explain how he hurt himself. Infected. That's what I thought. Yeah, you're gonna need to get those dressed antibiotics immediately.
사람이 잠을 자야 살지.
아빠 오징어 100개 타와.
Ma'am, did did you not hear what her mom said?
고기 많이 잡아와.
어디나 많이 잡아와.
That's right. Encourage him. Give him something to fight for. But yeah, no, I'm glad she didn't yell at him for it. I would understand the urge, but you know, the lady said he's doing the best he can, and yeah, he's kind of have to do his own thing, I guess. But not at the expense of his health, though. But I love this for her, though. Her mom had to do all this work and beat up her body to the point of death for little to no reward. At least now, a son has somebody who's willing to work for her, actually risk things for her. Ooh, coffee. Did we pay for those?
내가 죽긴 뭘 줘?
Is this the man she almost married? Is that why she's buying sugar? Because she knows he's addicted?
침 맞고 있어요. 안 그래도 내가 막 뭐라 그랬어요.
What's going on here?
우리 애기 아빠 아직도 손이 다 안 펴져요.
Yeah, this man's clearly an asshole.
이제는 진짜로다가 안 때린대요.
So he's getting beaten at work.
양씨 아저씨한테만 그러나 몰라.
It is the man she almost married. He's still jealous. Raising two demons? And unfortunately, you're giving him a third.
아 싫으면 싫다고 말씀하셔. 말씀을 하시고 네 배를 타시든가.
You really should get your own boat, but I know it's not easy. He's already being a dick. I hope you spit on your finger first. That's right, take back your food. And you, ma'am, I hope you can find an escape plan.
왜 너만 맨날 톡겨? 아니 마누라가 그렇게 좋아?
Yes.
뭐가 좋은데? 어?
Sorry that you hate yourself and women, clearly.
좋아 죽겠느냐고.
네. 좋아 죽어요.
I know, foreign concept to you, huh?
학시.
What does this have to do with your life, sir?
뭐
Exactly. Why don't you ever want to go home to your wife?
집에서도 외로워서?
Yeah.
거기서도 사람 취급 못 받아서?
Oh! Tell him! Clock it! I know the truth, hey? Yes, 진짜.
개새끼.
That's right. Mash up him house. Mash you up! That's right. Her husband may not be able to fight, but she can. Even pregnant, she gonna whoop your ass. Homie's like, who is this, a game? Grab something, sis. Clock him with a big board. Oh, fixing your hair now?
우리 아저씨 이제 일 안 해요.
Right?
하지마. 아 제발 하지마. 너 우리 성에 어촌 계장인 거 알지? 뭐 개새끼.
Come say it. Come say it to my face. Balls. Thank you.
나중에 누가 똥인가 한번 죽어보게.
Oh, look how we're running. I would have gone for the balls if I were you. I know it's a small target, but...
수고다. 도둑니 개새끼.
Y'all should start yelling that every time he comes to work from now on. 개새끼야.
호루라기. 인간 호루라기.
She is.
아니 네가 까고 왜 네가 울어?
She's upset. You're hurt. Also, she's pregnant. Leave her alone. Oh man, his finger really is jacked up. Yeah, screw that man. She was too nice.
무쇠도 달아. 왜 벌써 고장이 나고 그래? 사람
The man
겁나게.
works hard.
10살 때부터 지게를 졌으니 고장이 안 나고 배겨.
Yeah, that girl's not an easy girl to take care of.
나 죽으면 퇴장 같은
Oh.
게?
Maybe. Oh, he doesn't want to joke about that. That man's obsessed with you, ma'am. In the best kind of way.
잘 보내고 따라가야 마음이 낫지.
Cute patoots. All right. Well, that was another cute little episode there. Yeah, kind of moving into the next season of their life together. We see that, yeah, unfortunately, I kind of figured last episode that they were living with his family because obviously she was kicked out of her house and they kind of needed the help, right? He's only 19. She was only 18 when they had their daughter. You know, she doesn't have a proper education, so there's not a lot of jobs she could do that would allow her to take care of their daughter and work. And for him, you know, he only has a high school education. So again, that limits you. I mean, trade work is obviously still there, but they're on Jeju. And I don't know. I've not been to Jeju. I don't know a lot about it, but my understanding is that up until maybe around the 80s, 90s, it was really kind of more of a farming kind of agricultural place. It really didn't get into the tourism side of things until like the 90s and stuff like that. But even then, a lot of the people who live in Jeju, even now, from what I've seen and heard, are older people or people who are retired or close to retiring. There is still like some agriculture, but it really is more about it's more about tourism now. But back then, it was sadly where a lot of poor people would live. So point being, there wasn't a lot of work for Guanxik to do that was going to pay a lot, and probably not a lot for him, enough for him, to actually rent a home and, you know, support himself and two other people. And so, yeah, he relied on their family, but we see that, you know, we know that his family was not happy about this marriage, particularly his mother and mother-in-law. And it always blows my mind that when a woman has gone through, or anyone has gone through, an absolutely horrible time, like when they've experienced some level of abuse because of whatever, like you'd think that as they grew up and you know, went through their experiences and survived it, that they would not want to pass that same traumatic experience onto somebody else. And that is exactly what Guanxik's mother did. Like, she talked, we saw in the flower in the first episode, about how she was telling her mother-in-law about how, you know, she was given such a hard time when she first came home and first met her. And even though she, you know, was pregnant and gave her first grandson, there's still this animosity that her mother-in-law still holds for her. And, you know, obviously she was trying to downplay it, but it's clear, like, her mother-in-law, Guanxik's grandmother, is a cow. Quite frankly, she's so cantankerous and she's self-righteous, and she really just thinks that she's the queen of all of Jeju, even though it's like, you're not even the richest in Jeju. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, point being, you'd think that after what Guanxik's mom went through, that she would be less prejudiced and less, you know, just heinous towards her daughter-in-law, because she knows that that's exactly the same way that Asun is coming to her. And once again, as I mentioned in the episode, Asun did not chase her son, right? I would understand if Asun had been following him around for years and was doing all these plots and schemes to try to get his attention and, you know, literally seduced him and got herself pregnant to try to force a marriage. None of those things happened. She knew, both her and Guanxik's grandmother know that boy has been following her since he was 10. He went over there. He brought the food over. He would take their fish and bring it over there. He went over to take care of her. They couldn't stop him from following her. They know it's him. The whole thing was instigated by him. Yet you're taking it out on her. And as we saw in episode 3, when they got back from when they got back from Busan, and poor Asun had to be like, why am I being villainized here? I got kicked out of school. I'm being called the vixen and the harlot, while you're being lifted as this angel, this poor innocent angel that I'm trying to defile. Like, it's just, misogynist cultures drive me insane. They drive me insane, and I know that's pretty much every culture in the world, but it's just so frustrating to see the double standard and how much Asun is paid for it. But, you know, still, with everything, you'd think that Guanxik's parents, or especially his mom, would be less. Like, I'm not saying she has to be happy about the situation that her son didn't marry who she might have wanted, but Asun is a good girl. Like, she knows that. Asun is good. She's kind. You know, yeah, she's got a temper and a bit of a mouth, but that's literally the worst thing about her. She was a good student. She took care of her family. After her mom died, most people would look at her and see a hardworking, kind, thoughtful girl who doesn't shirk her responsibilities. But instead, all you can see is the fact that she was poor and an orphan, which was outside of her control. Y'all are acting like she actually took her parents out. But it's just, again, lots of cultural things that I will never fully understand or agree with. But anyway, we see that because of this anger that they had, they just decided to take it out on Asun, right? They were like, okay, fine. Like, we couldn't stop our son, you know, we couldn't stop Guanxik from marrying you, but we're going to make you regret it, right? So we saw that for the next few years while they're raising their daughter, I mean, Asun couldn't work, right? Again, no education, no job she could really do, maybe short of being a hanryeo, but she already said she's never doing that for obvious reasons. And we see that instead, they just, every day, they make her do all the cooking and cleaning in the house, which, you know, I'm not mad about that. Like, fine. She's there at the house anyway. She can help contribute. But it's not enough. We've got grandmother who's constantly claiming to be a shaman and basically just shaming her and saying that she's just this terrible person with evil spirits that trapped her grandson, and also saying she wants a son, because we all know why they want sons. And also blaming her for having a daughter first, which, yeah, that's your son. Okay, that's your son's girly sperm you need to be mad at, ma'am. But digressing, just making this poor girl's life miserable. But we see that A-sun does not complain because unfortunately, her whole life has been putting up with people treating her like crap, with the exception of her mother, right? Her mom was the only person before Gwon-shik that didn't try to make her feel bad for existing. And so she just puts up with it. A-sun puts up with it, even though she hates it, even though it frustrates her. She's like, you know what? I will put up with it if it means that I'm not breaking this man up from his family and my child is taken care of and we have a roof over our heads, right? She's looking at the bigger picture because again, she's learned to do that because of putting up with so much nonsense up until that point in her life. But I just love that we see that Gwon-shik was not ignorant to it. He saw it, he knew. He was very aware of the fact that she was unhappy. And one thing about Gwon-shik that's just a beautiful trait is that this man, like when I say that this man is steadfast, but also I've always said that someone who truly loves you, when someone is truly, truly loves you and in love with you, they want you happy. That's what's more important than anything. They want to support you in what you do, especially if that's what makes you happy. And Gwon-shik didn't just want a wife. He didn't just want A-sun for the sake of having A-sun. He wanted her to be happy. Everything he did for her was to take care of her so she could be happy. So even though, yes, he married her, kept her from being a woman who would have had a baby illegitimately, disappointed his family, which I don't think he much cared about, but it wasn't just enough. Like he could have said, that's enough, right? I married her, I'm taking care of her and my kid, that should be enough for her. But no, he wanted her to be happy and he saw that she was miserable in that house, but trying to make the best of it, right? We saw her, she's like, I don't want to complain. I'm not gonna whine, right? She's like, it's fine. She's the little things I want. She's like, I just want our daughter to have the opportunities that I couldn't have, that my mom couldn't have. I'm just trying to break this cycle of us always being, you know, in these boxes we can't break out of. And so that's all she wanted. But even he knew that that wasn't enough. He knew that A-sun still wants more than that. And more importantly, she was being emotionally battered in that house. But anyways, we see that, you know, she put up with it and he allowed, like, he basically was like he told her, he's like, if you ever want to flip the table, babe, I'm with you. We'll take it from there. Like, you tell me when you're ready to flip the table. I'm going to be behind you. And I just love that he always let A-sun know that I will never side with my family or anyone over you, right? You're my family now. It's you. It's always been you. You and that little girl, that's here. Everything else comes second. And so I just love that he's always been so, again, steadfast, unconditional when it comes to her. And, you know, again, A-sun always trying to look out for him, always trying to not be a burden to him. She puts up with so much, but thank God she drew the line at when the audacity of her in-laws of trying to put her daughter to work at the age of 4. The girl hadn't even gone to school, and they're talking about they wanted to learn how to free dive. Anyways, I'm glad that the Hanryo said over our dead bodies is that little girl getting in the water. First of all, second of all, we were friends with her mama. Her mama said she did not want her daughter, and she definitely would not want her granddaughter going out there. Third, hello, this little girl's other grandmother died because she dove too damn much. Nah, we're not doing it. So anyways, just the audacity though, like the hate, like how much hate do you have to have in your heart for a child to want to put them to hard labor? Not even like, okay, we're gonna make her start cleaning the house. Even that would have been a bit egregious. But to say I want you to do one of the most dangerous jobs out there as a 4, the way they wanted that child gone, like say it with your chest. Say that you want that child gone so you can find another reason to try to break your son away from this girl. Like, oh, they were evil. Oh my gosh. But anyway, thankfully, once they tried that with A-sun, A-sun said that's not gonna happen. Over my dead bodies, my daughter gonna work and become a maid and support this household. Why the hell should she do that? You got a perfectly healthy son. You have a husband who's sitting here doing nothing from what I can see. And she's like, yeah, you want a Henry in the house? You got a daughter. She's not even your firstborn. You send her out to work. Oh, and mom got upset about that. So anyways, I'm glad that when he came home, and he saw what went down, like he knew A-sun. I loved it. And that's what, Gwon-shik. Oh, sir. I understand why that woman gave you another baby, okay? Because I love that he came home. He didn't even know what the whole situation was. He just saw that his wife was crying, his baby was crying, and his mama was yelling. And he said, oh, okay. He said, bet, baby, go get your stuff. We're getting the hell out of here because we ain't, actually, he didn't get your stuff. He didn't take his stuff. He just took his wife and his baby, the two things that are part of his family. And he said, you know what? Y'all don't have to worry about it. You didn't like A-sun. You don't want her around. You'll never see her again. Know that. You will never get the opportunity to throw your dirty ass beans at her again. You will never have the opportunity to put your hands on my wife again. We are gone. Consider us gone. You no longer have a son. Goodbye. Love that. That was hot, Guanxik. I get it. I get it, A-Sun. That's what you do when you're the head of the household. That's what you do when you are supposed to be in charge of your family. You don't wait and get for explanations and make excuses. Your wife is looking like that. You say, we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. You're never going to get a chance to do that again. So he cut them off, not her. Because A-Sun would never ask him to do that. But I'm glad that she didn't have to. My man said, never, not happening. He was been ready to go, and even though it was hard, and we see that life wasn't exactly easy for them after, right? They had to go, they had to find a place because she was raising their daughter. She, again, and also has no education, she really couldn't work. So it was all on him. And that was very much the case. I know that right up until probably around the 90s or so, most families had one income families, but it didn't make it easy. Right? Especially again, because he only has the high school education, but we see he never complains, right? Guanxik will never, ever, ever complain, especially to A-Sun, about the burden. It's not really a burden, but the responsibility of taking care of his family. He wanted his family. He wanted A-Sun from day one, and he was going to do everything he could to show that he wanted that, right? He never resented it. And again, why he's just the golden guy, because it wasn't easy. Obviously, it's not easy to take on that much responsibility. But what I love is that A-Sun absolutely appreciated it, right? Even though she couldn't financially contribute, she was making sure, like you saw, cooking the meals, taking care. God knows she had enough experience on how to take care of a household and people and a man, right? She took care of her stepfather for so long. So thankfully, it wasn't like she couldn't be there to support him where she could. But even then, we see that he still would rather prefer that she do nothing, right? He just wants her to be happy. I just thought it was so funny, even when he came home from work that one day and she was rubbing her legs because she had to go to the temple and pray. That man had been doing hard labor all day and he still wanted to give her a foot rub, right? That's how much he loves her. So anyway, we see that they move out and somebody paid 3 months of their rent. I don't know who that was. I still don't know. Maybe I'm missing the name, but either way, that really helped because he was able to find a job in that time. And we see that because they didn't have to worry about no bills, they had time to get busy. And baby number 2 is now on the way. And obviously, but it's good. It's happy news in one hand, but obviously it's also more stress. That's going to be another mouth to feed. So we see that it turns out that Guanxik took on a job that was quite dangerous and a lot harder as far as the work, but I guess it paid enough to keep them supported. And we see that it got to the point where he hurt himself and he didn't even want to show her that because we saw how upset, understandably, A-Sun, because like I said, like Guanxik's like a puppy, right? A cute little puppy. You don't want him to get hurt. You don't want to ever be sad. Like she never wants that man to feel an ounce of pain, even though she knows he suffers for working. And we saw that, unfortunately, he didn't really want to talk about it. He didn't talk about it because, again, he's not the kind to complain. And he also knew that she would demand he quit, which they can't afford to have happen. So they worked it out in their own little way. And we see that she even went, and when she found out that, who he worked for was her ex, well, I don't even want to call him an ex, but who she would have married if she hadn't, thank God, come to her senses. And she thought she could come over. She remembered that he liked sugar, so she made him a meal and brought him sugar, all these things to kind of maybe hopefully get him to be nicer, to be a little bit more kind and a little bit more attentive to her husband's condition. And then she found out when she was there, the truth of what actually happened on this trip where he hurt himself, because he just said it was a fishing accident. And it turns out he was beaten and that he had hurt himself. Well, actually, he'd hurt himself first, and then when he tried to get the guy to turn around, it looks like he got beaten because the captain didn't want to go back home because he wanted to get more fish. But also, I think he remembers that Guanxik was the man that took the girl he was going to marry, and he just wanted to show off on the small town boy, right? And it's just petty and pathetic, and we see that he beats his wife too, so he's a special man, he's special. I use the term man loosely. But anyway, he was just trying to get one over on Guanxik, obviously get a little bit of revenge because he didn't think, how dare this country boy take the woman he was going to marry. But anyways, and I love that conversation that they had too, where he's like, why do you always want to go home? Why are you in such a rush to run home to your wife when everybody else wants to sit here and whinge about how much they hate their wives? And my man was like, I do love my wife, actually. I love her a lot. Why don't you want to go home? Are you lonely? Are you married and lonely? Like, Guanxik taking the shots so calmly too. But anyways, I love that we see that my girl A-Sun came in and she saved her man because she said, the only one who can bully my husband is me. And she don't even bully him no more, right? So anyways, very cute. I just love that, their love story is very beautiful. Guanxik's steadfastness and A-Sun's fierce love and protection of him. it works, right? Because Guanxik does need someone like an Asun in his life, because I feel like he would let people kind of run over him otherwise. But she very much is that fire that he needs, and also that strength when he might not be feeling so strong. Because he looked like he was actually about to try to get physical. He probably would have gotten his butt whooped. But I love that Asun said, no, babe, I got this. You stay being a gentle puppy. Let me mess this man up. And the fact that she was saying that you see that his finger has been permanently jacked up because this man didn't go back to shore so he could get proper medical attention. Anyway, men like him always get exactly the life that they deserve, so his comeuppance will come. Looks like his wife's about ready to take out some vengeance too, so he better watch the meals he's gonna get over the next few days. But anyway, another great episode. We see now that we got that flash forward. Oh, I forgot about the daughter. That's right, we got the flash forward. Their daughter, she is doing better. She's living the dream that Asun kind of wanted for her, in that she's not a maid. She's educated. She wants to become a CEO. She's got great ambitions and the ability to potentially achieve them. And we see that she was dating someone, a richer guy, eldest son, and the mother, right? The same cycle of toxic mother-in-laws. She's basically saying to her that, I don't think you're good enough for my kid. And then when she said she wanted to keep working, she was like, oh, hell no. Like, if you're going to marry my son who's this, that, and the other, you need to be a pretty little wife and an arm piece. And basically she tried to tell her that she was stepping outside of her place, coming from a poor family. And thankfully, Asun's daughter said, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. In fact, I think I'm ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with that. Your son should be so lucky to marry an ambitious girl. Isn't that the way you should think? As another modern woman. And anyways, obviously it didn't go well, and we see that it looks like her and her boyfriend might have broken up, but we see it, she kind of takes out that frustration on her mom. And I love that Asun didn't even give her any, she didn't return the energy, because Asun knows, first of all, she's got that temperance from Asun, but also, she's like, yeah, I get it. Your life was hard. You did grow up poor. You didn't have everything you wanted because we had to struggle, but I wouldn't choose a different life, right? And I love that because we're seeing Asun's story, you understand that even though it was rough, and yeah, she could have married that jerk who would have beat her and lived a slightly better life, she would have been miserable. And even though her life has been hard, and it's definitely not been the easiest, and we see it's taking its toll on Guanxik, but they love each other. And that, if you are fortunate enough to find your soulmate in this world, it doesn't matter. The money is there, the money is good, but it's not everything. And, she was able to kind of let her daughter know that, and we see that in the end, her daughter kind of smiled when she saw that her parents are still absolutely head over heels for each other. But yeah, kind of great that she's getting to see both sides of that story, that, she should also hopefully try to look for somebody who loves her with the kind of ferocity that her dad loves her mom with. But yeah, another cute story, and we're seeing kind of just these, nothing crazy so far. I really thought we'd have more tragedy, which I'm glad we're not. Hopefully, I'm saying this maybe a little too early, but it is still so much fun to watch, and I'm enjoying it. So I hope you guys are enjoying watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.